I still vividly remember the feeling every time I set out on a new hunt. It's not just a journey to track down prey, but a battle of wits between the hunter and nature. In this land, wild boars are nothing short of the enemy of farmers. They destroy crops and trample fields overnight. That's why my team and I decided to head out in the midst of a snowstorm, armed with rifles, hunting dogs, and razor-sharp focus. How many beasts will we face today? And will I maintain my composure to bring them down like I have in the past? The journey officially begins. We moved up the mountain slope, our breaths billowing in the cold morning air. Before long, we spotted a group of wild boars digging in the distance. I decided to start the hunt with a shot. Bang! The entire group scattered in a panic, with one wounded boar stumbling behind. The long distance and thick trees forced me to move closer. The prey was struggling to escape. Bang! The second bullet whizzed through the air and struck its mark, ending all resistance. A promising start, but could this be a sign of a successful hunt? Stay tuned, and don't take your eyes off the screen to continue hunting with us. We decided to spread out, each taking a different path to track down the remaining wild boars. And there it was, right in front of me. Another one appeared within my sights. I raised my rifle, took a deep breath, and then decisively squeezed the trigger. The sharp crack of the shot echoed. And in that moment, the fate of the second boar was sealed. Taking down the second prey lifted my spirits, and I felt more energized than ever. The weather grew more brutal, with strong winds making it harder than ever to follow the trail. At that moment, we decided to call in the help of our hunting dogs. And indeed, just minutes later, my hounds were closing in, pushing the prey straight into the line of my rifle. The opportunity couldn't have been better. I slowed my breathing, aimed with precision. The shot rang out sharply. With just one clean shot, the prey fell. A perfect combination, wouldn't you agree? Meanwhile, on another mountain slope, in front of my teammate Jake, a boar was busy digging under the white snow. He gently raised his rifle, locking in on the vulnerable spot. His finger tightened on the trigger. The shot echoed through the still air. Nothing could escape. The boar froze, struggling to flee, but its legs gave way. That shot could only come from an experienced marksman like Jake, clean, precise, and decisive. The sun began to break through, and the air warmed slightly after the biting cold. This was the perfect moment for the wild boars to come out and bask in the sunlight. And sure enough, from our high vantage point, the entire team spotted a dark figure trudging through the snowy expanse. Waiting for the perfect moment, when the target was fully in sight, I tightened my grip on the trigger. Bang! With a single shot, the boar collapsed with no chance of escaping the line of my rifle. Exhausted, we decided to pack up and head back. However, on our way, a familiar figure suddenly appeared in the distance. Not wasting a moment, I quickly raised my rifle. Bang! The bullet struck the target from afar. As we approached to check, the prey was still struggling weakly, desperate to escape. To completely end any threat, another shot rang out. Everything was over. The hunt concluded with precision and efficiency in every shot. Each moment showcased the seamless teamwork and the sharpshooting skills of the seasoned hunters. More importantly, the entire journey took place within a legal, permitted area, fully complying with the regulations. If you found this adventure exciting, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to follow our future hunting trips. The forests of East Texas, where pure white snow blankets every thorny branch, transform the wild land into a frozen labyrinth shrouded in bone-chilling cold. Endless blizzards pile thick ice upon the ground, erasing all traces, while howling winds sweep through the thickets, making the air tremble with menace. Wild boars roam through the frozen earth and leaving behind scarred snowy trails as a ruthless challenge. Join us as we embark on this thrilling hunt. The bone-chilling cold of East Texas forest bites through every inch of skin, where white snow blankets the thorny bushes, turning each breath into a misty cloud in the freezing air. The wind howls through the treetops like the screams of death, while the ice beneath my feet cracks threateningly, ready to swallow every step. With a cold hunting rifle in hand, I silently push through the snowy maze, tracking the trails of those monstrous beasts. Suddenly, from the darkness of the deep forest, a pack of wild boars, vicious beasts with tusks as sharp as blades, burst through the snow, churning it up like a raging storm. Their roars echoed through the woods, as if challenging nature itself. I raised my rifle and took precise aim at the savage horde. The first shot tore through the forest, striking down the lead boar. But the distance was considerable, and the following rounds missed, giving the others a chance to flee. They weaved through the trees, vanishing into the blinding snow. The barrel still hot in my hands, I knew this battle was far from over. Join us as we continue the hunt for the remaining beasts. In a place where white snow blanketed the thorny bushes, the hunting dogs tracked the prints left on the snowy ground. Soon after, they caught the target's scent and barked loudly to signal its location. The moment I saw the boar darting between the tree trunks, I quickly raised my rifle, eyes locked on its path through the chaotic forest. A single shot tore through the air, and the boar dropped instantly. In the forests of East Texas, a thick layer of snow blanketed the dense canopy, turning each step into a slippery challenge and making movement anything but easy. My binoculars became an invaluable ally, allowing me to scan every hidden corner within the thorny brush. Suddenly, a herd of wild boars burst through the trees. I raised my rifle. One precise shot brought down the boar in middle. Without pause, I took aim again and managed to shoot 2 more. Each one collapsed onto the frozen ground, while the rest of the herd vanished into the icy mist. In another corner of the East Texas forest, my teammate fired a shot that sliced through the air just as a wild boar casually wandered in view. The beast collapsed instantly. There was no chance of escape. Snow blanketed the thorny thickets, while the hound's fierce barks tore through the frozen air. The wild boars crashed through the dense brush, trying to escape, but unknowingly charged straight toward me. My hunting rifle was ready, and my eyes locked onto their movement. The first shot rang out, but unfortunately missed, only sending them into a frenzy. Without hesitation, I adjusted my aim and pulled the trigger again. The second shot echoed through the forest, and the last boar in the group dropped, just as I had hoped. We didn't give up. We continued tracking the last remaining boars. As soon as we got close, I quickly aimed my rifle, finger ready on the trigger. Then, bang! One final shot took down a wild boar. The brutal hunt in the snowy forests of East Texas had come to an end. Thank you for joining us in this icy showdown against these savage beasts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay with us for more intense hunts ahead. Temperature in the forest was steadily dropping, snow was falling, and the biting cold wind seemed to cut through the skin, as if trying to block our steps. But no one gave up, because this was one of the journeys we had been looking forward to most of the year, the challenging winter wild boar hunt. Our hunting team is very large, with dozens of people. Most are locals, and a few come from other places. Our common goal is to hunt as many wild boars as possible. However, operating on thick snow during winter is not easy. Wild boars in Canada this season are very alert and cautious, slower, but more ferocious and tougher than ever before. Every step in the snow made a crisp, crackling sound. We tried not to make loud noises. As we moved, we searched for wild boar tracks. We discovered deep footprints in the snow, larger than an adult's palm, definitely a herd of wild boars. I looked up toward the distance. In the shadow of the trees, I heard dry branches snap. Many large, dark shapes slowly appeared. My heart pounded. They were a herd of dozens of wild boars, busily foraging, seemingly unaware of the approaching danger. We quietly moved closer to the herd's position, trying not to make a sound. Once in a safe spot, we gripped our guns tightly and aimed carefully at the vital points to take down the prey as quickly as possible. The gunshot echoed through the quiet forest. The bullet struck its body. The boar collapsed into the snow, struggling. Not just one wild boar fell, but two one-eye shot and another Paul took down. Around noon, we moved up a mountain. Here we found some herds of wild boars feeding, small groups of about 3 to 5 wild boars, some larger groups. We focused on locating them through the scope, aiming for the head or chest of the animal, as that would kill it the fastest. On the high hill, gunshots rang out continuously. Probably hearing the gunfire, boars scattered and ran deeper into the forest. By early afternoon, Team 3 reported that they spotted a mature herd of wild boars moving southward in the forest. If we didn't keep up, we would lose their trail. We immediately tightened our formation and gave chase. The snow grew thicker, and the wind whipped against our faces like knives. Falling snow limited our visibility, making it difficult to hit the target. During the wild boar hunt, in the snowy forest, visibility and experience are the most important factors. You can miss giant prey and even face hidden dangers without experience and skills. We are lucky to have learned from experienced hunters in the area, So every hunt is carefully prepared. After the wild boars are hunted, we gather and transport them to the collection point. Winter helps preserve the meat longer, so most of it is sent to processing plants. The boar meat is processed into wild game meat and consumed locally. The winter wild boar hunt in Canada is not for the faint-hearted. Snow, cold, and wild animals with killer instincts demand absolute precision. Every shot, every step. But it is precisely those heart-pounding moments that make us feel truly alive, amid the harsh nature, amid survival challenges. Today's video ends here. How do you feel about today's video? We hope it brought you an interesting topic. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. For us, the war against wild boars never truly ends. They appear all year round, at any time of day or season. In autumn, when dry leaves crunch under our feet, every hunt brings a different kind of challenge. But when winter arrives, snow blanketing the mountains, cold cutting to the bone, the battle turns into something entirely different. Each season is a new battlefield, yet our mission never changes: to stop the advance of these destructive beasts. Today, come with us and see how we face them. Hunting is never simple. Behind every shot are hours of watching, calculating, and waiting in absolute silence. It is a duel between human patience and nature's wariness. And then, the moment finally comes. Our first target of the day appears. The forest is swallowed in thick snow, trees stripped bare like silent sentinels. From afar comes the crunching of snow under heavy steps, a herd of wild boars marching forward, unaware that death lurks close. Bang! The gunfire slices through the frozen air like blades. Two boars collapse into the snow, while the rest scatter in panic, vanishing into the depths of the forest. Hidden behind bare branches, suddenly, a massive boar bursts out from the cold gray trunks, charging straight at me with brute force. No time to think. Boom! The bullet rips through the air, striking the beast square in the head. It crashes onto the snow. On the other side, our golden-furred companion leads the target into the open with a furious bark, supporting David. As if on cue, boom, the shot shatters the silence. The beast staggers, collapses, and sinks into the white expanse as though blown out of existence by an invisible winter gale. On another ridge, our teammate Thomas has taken position as planned. The hillside is a harsh place, cliffs and steep slopes, where wild boars often hide deep in the brush or crawl into dark crevices, making them almost impossible to spot. As Thomas moves along the slope, a wild boar suddenly bursts out like an arrow through the silence. With 10 years of hunting experience, Thomas reacts instantly, rifle raised, aim fired. Bang!
Come on.
Further down the slope, a boar is casually enjoying its midday meal, unaware that it's already in our sights. But it's too late. Rifle loaded, Thomas locks his eyes on the target. The shot is clean, direct, lethal. The boar drops instantly. What do you think? Was that a perfect 10? Let my teammate know in the comments. Halfway down the hillside, cautious boars emerge from the dense brush. Holding my breath, I raise my rifle. Eyes sharp, fixed on their every move. The click of the bolt echoes in the stillness. 2 shots ring out across the slope, both striking true, both fatal. Today, we've claimed plenty of trophies. Our legs ache, our bodies are exhausted after the long hunt, yet our hearts are full. It's not only the thrill of the kill, it's the relief of knowing we've helped protect the land from destruction. And perhaps, tomorrow, the journey begins again, hardships and surprises waiting ahead.